As the temperatures get colder here in California, so has this Vulcan volleyball team. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Riding a 4-game losing streak, the California Vulcans come in here to play the Cavaliers of Walsh. I am Nick Kurtz. Joined alongside me, my very good friend, Michael Joseph James Robinson. For the purpose of this broadcast, to make it easier on everyone, we're going to call him JJ, since that's what he also calls himself. How are you doing tonight, my good friend?
I'm doing good. So far, so good. No work today. Get to watch some volleyball. That's a good day for me.
Well, it must be a good day for these Cavaliers as well. They're coming into this game running a 4-game win streak, and I think they're looking to get revenge for a game earlier on in the season. 3-2 win against the Walsh Cavaliers, and I believe the second game this season, Vulcans were able to take it home and ride that off to an 11-0 start. But as I mentioned earlier, it might not just be 48 degrees out. It might be 48 degrees in here as well, because these Vulcans not played well so far.
No, been very on a cold streak recently. Losers of a couple straight, especially back-to-back losses to Seton Hill. Looking to bounce back today.
And as they say, for there to be a winner, there must be a loser. But tonight, hopefully these Vulcans look to turn that around, do they not?
Indeed they do. Cavaliers come in very strong recently with a, let me check, with a 17-5 record, playing a significant amount of games, and undefeated in conference play. California coming in at 15-8, 2-6 within conference. California looking to climb some rankings. Unfortunately, not a conference matchup today, but still look to improve their record.
And they desperately need those conference wins as well. Struggled so far in conference play. I believe off the top of the dome, the last conference win probably around 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point.
I believe that is correct.
On the Vulcan side, to your left, you will see number 12, Olivia Wiseman, number 10, Caroline Mercer, number 3, Kay Lindenfelter, number 8, Ava Norfolk, number 14, Eliza Ruggiero. She'll yell at me later for getting her name wrong, and she always does. Number 1, Adriana Favana. Then off to serve on the right side. If we can get the number here, just waiting on that, honestly. Believe that is going to be number 2, AJ Burke, but either way, things are underway as Wiseman's going to start us off early with the kill to the outside. Burke puts that one up. Walsh easily just going to throw this one over, and that's going to be a first easy point for the Vulcans.
California gets the first point of the game. Something they've been decent at this year. They always usually go back and forth within these couple sets, especially within the first 2 or 3. California looking to build some momentum off this first point, though.
And the first set on the Vulcan side today is not going to be by our normal choosee of Adriana Favana. It's by number 8, Eva Norfolk. Things back underway in play. Favana's going to dig that one up. Thrown back to the other side of Walsh. Sets up for the outside kill. That one's slammed down by number 3, Cameron Stover, and puts the Walsh Cavaliers back on the board.
Nice execution by both teams there. Walsh able on the far side to get the ball across the court. No one was able to get to the ball in time, which ends up in a Walsh point.
Beautiful mixing of words, as I believe that is the Beast going back for the serve. Ruggiero to the outside. One narrowly dug out on the side of Walsh and De Silva. Back over the net to California. Favana with the set. One looks like it's going to Scammell, but no, that one's going to be taken by the true freshman, Olivia Wiseman, who puts that one over. Vulcan's back on the board.
Olivia Wiseman been insane for this California team so far this year. Just being their main producer within kills all along, leading the entire California team in kills.
I remember last time I was on this broadcast, probably last week at this point when we were playing Seton Hill at home. I mentioned, I don't think Olivia Wiseman has ever really come out during these games. Normally she's out there on the court for so long. It's Morgan Johnson who recently checked in here along with Sarah Stevenson coming on the court and serving. Stevenson not able to handle that one. Walsh is going to get a point right back.
Indeed. Like you were saying, Wiseman doesn't come out of the game often, mainly because stuff doesn't go California's way when she doesn't. She's like, think of it if you watch basketball as a point guard. She's a point guard of this California team. And when she's on the court, things are going well.
And we know how important those point guard positions are. Scammell's going to lay that one out from the outside.
Scammell, the leader in blocks for this California team, coming up big there with a nice point to continue the lead 3-2 over Walsh.
And the Croatian sensation getting ready to check in, Anna Marie Petricevic. Apparently her own mother doesn't even know her last name, so apparently I don't think I'm going to get it right either. But we're going to have to try, ladies and gentlemen, as Wiseman's going back for the serve. This one's going to be sent by Walsh to the outside, going into the middle of the court. Nothing there. Back to Petricevic. That one's going to bounce off the tip of a Walsh defender's hands. As we see those divers on the California side, they earned themselves a nice point.
Indeed. Petricevic coming into the game right off that substitution, making an immediate impact for this California team.
And I think that's what you want from those subs coming in, just to make that immediate impact and sort of leave the other team on the back heels of their feet. As we're going to get an inside hit here. Nobody ready for that dive. That's going to put Walsh right back in the driver's seat.
That was a nice change up there by Walsh. Instead of going for a hard hit there, just tap it over and let that float down to the ground. California was not able to get there in time.
Now back to serve is Cameron Stover. The lefty goes up with a dugout by Petricevic. That one awkwardly goes over the net, just like a middle schooler at a prom. Kind of awkward. Doesn't really get to go the exact way Petricevic wanted it to. And
So pretty much you at a middle school prom.
well, the difference, Michael, is that I didn't really go to a prom. That's a lie. I went to 3 in high school, I believe. We're going to get another serve. Petricevic takes that one out. That one's not awkward over the net. Sarah Stevenson goes up with it. Nothing. As Wiseman's going to take that one in the middle of the California side. Dug out by the likes of Walsh. Awkward little play there. Nothing really happens, and the bench erupts in chaos as California's going to pick up a point and enter the driver's seat once more.
Nice little light block there by Scammell. Just looked like it barely hit her, but it does go down on the side of Walsh, Point California.
Sometimes all you need is that little bit of awkwardness to warm somebody up, and especially for these Vulcans, like I mentioned, riding that cold streak, all they need is a little bit of warmth right now. This one's going to be dug out. Awkward play by Johnson, but somehow stays alive. Johnson going to be the one to set it to the outside for Petricevic, excuse me. I believe that one's going to be called outside just by a hair. Tie ball game.
A little too much power on that one, a little too high. Aiming for that back corner, back middle of the court. Unsuccessful attempt there by Petricevic.
There's too much torque behind that shot. I don't know if that's proper use of the terminology, but
I don't know cars, so I have no clue.
neither do I. I just think it's a fun word to say. Set comes in. Wiseman digs that one out. Johnson. Petricevic to the outside. Bounced around a little bit. Awkward. Is that one going to stay in? It will. Wiseman again gets the ball. Johnson outside for Norfolk. Again, just a little bit of awkward play here. Seems like things are a little disorganized, but Petricevic finds it again. Bouncing off the hands of the Walsh defenders. Back to the outside. That one's going to find the middle of the court, and the backcourt defender was not able to find that. California now down by 1.
A lot of California looking like some eggs, scrambled up a bunch within each other. A lot of running from every direction. Looks like people are tripping over each other. Not able to get that last ball there.
Seems like we're going for metaphors today, and I'm all for it. I believe that one's going to get called outside. It's going to put us back in a tie ball game. Favana and Ruggiero are checking back into the game. Ruggiero?
That's how she prefers it to pronounce.
That's how she prefers it? Well,
not the best at her pronunciation, but
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not Italian, nor do I consider myself a man of motion, so unfortunately don't think I have that tongue-rolling ability nor capabilities to say such a thing at an excellent rate.
You just said you had no motion.
Well, sometimes if you're not honest with yourself, you're nothing. This one's going to be sent back to the outside. I believe that one was by DeBeese. Kill attempt by Norfolk. Awkward play there, but Walsh is going to be able to keep that back in. What a play.
That was a nice play by Walsh to attempt to get the ball with the diving effort on the first one. The second hit was good, but that third hit goes under the net, and I've said it a lot this season. The ball's got to go over, not under.
You know, it's not like sports betting. You always want to take the over, not the under on most stuff.
You learned that the hard way, didn't you, buddy?
I did unfortunately learn that the hard way, but these Vulcans are learning that the hard way as well, as I believe that's going to be, again, DeBeese with the kill right into the middle of the court. California not able to handle it. 14 points aboard, split 7-7 each. I just did some quick math. I watched your face on that.
You saw I was confused and like, oh, he can do math all of a sudden.
Well, I've been doing a lot of it recently, so unfortunately I've gotten used to it. As De Silva's going to set that one back for Wiseman. Sorry, serve. Getting the terminologies mixed up here. Petricevic goes that one to the backcourt. Sent up to the outside. Sorry, a bit more of the inside, but that one's going to be a Walsh ball. No one able to find it.
Favana and Wiseman were the two closest players to there. It looks like a split right in between them. And when a ball's split that evenly between players, it's very hard to determine who's supposed to go for it. And most times, both players just back off for the other player to go for it. Obviously, doesn't work out there.
You know, what I've learned from playing club volleyball is that, people kind of just throw themselves in the way and try and get that ball. But, when you're actually playing real sports and you're playing it at a level like this, there's a lot more intelligence that goes behind it. So you see these players actually calculate and go, maybe this person should get it and not me. Did that make any sense?
It made sense. It made sense.
Luckily not. De Silva goes up with it. Serve, awkward play here. Sorry, little commotion going on. Mercer just tries to get that one away so they can get themselves set up defensively. Block scope for California. Nobody able to find it except for Wiseman, apparently. Favada, Norfolk, off the hand of some Walsh defenders. Awkward play here, hit on the inside. Favada to the outside. Ruggiero hits that one in. Nothing. Walsh to the outside. Off the hands of some California defenders, and that one goes to the way of the Cavaliers.
Awkward block by Norfolk. Norfolk attempting to just give a straight-on block. Fortunately, her arms or hands must have been rotated in some sort of direction to send that ball directly to the side.
Again, De Silva's going to set this one up, serve this one up. Again, I'm getting pretty bad at this, aren't I?
Takes time. Don't worry. You'll get into a rhythm.
Well, obviously. Ooh, nice play up on the inside by Hornaday. And I believe that one's going to force the timeout by Coach Audrey Emmerich in her second year. She talks to Petricevic. I don't know if we're keeping this one here, if we're sending this one to commercial break. I believe we're keeping this one here. And, ooh, nice little G6 action on the in-arena sound system.
And while we have a moment, we're going to take a look at the tail of the tape for today's game. California versus Walsh, of course. California is trailing Walsh 12.7 to 13.3 with kills per set. California trailing again with 11.9 to 12 for assists per set. Aces per set also goes to Walsh. Digs per set goes to California, luckily this time 16.9 to 15.4. And blocks per set, California edging out Walsh just barely at 2.1 to 2 even. So it looks like Walsh does have the offensive advantage compared to California today.
You know, as they say in many other sports, it's not offense that wins championships. What wins championships? They say defense. But I also like to argue this point. I've argued this on Twitter a few times. Not that I'm proud to admit that, but how are you going to win if you don't put points on the board?
You can't. Well, you ever think of the Legion of Boom? Remember when they played against the Denver Broncos? They put up points against the Broncos.
The mid-2010s Seattle Seahawks defense was able to put some points up on the board on the defensive end, but that's a little harder to do in sports like volleyball. As we're back underway here, De Silva serves that one. Lord, I'm doing it again. Petricevic, that one off. The hands of some Walsh defenders, but I believe that one's going to get called out. California gets the point.
That's an ass called by the official. From here, I couldn't tell if that was in or out or on the line. The official there was able to see it clear as day. That will be a California point.
I mean, from our little bird's eye view in the Convocation Center, I'm going to say beautiful sunny California, but it's not really sunny anymore. It's a little hard to see from all the way down there, so that's why we leave it up to the professionals. As that one goes off the hands of some California defenders. I believe that one was off for Garrow. That one's going to go the way of Walsh. 8-12 is the score here in the first set. I'm Nate Kurtz. Joining alongside me is J.J. Robinson.
That's way better than what you said before.
I know. He hates when I call him Michael, but unfortunately, that's what the legal system calls him. That one's just a little too far to the outside. That's going to make the score 9-12 now. Scammell's going to check her way back into the game.
Scammell definitely needed in that front row about now. Down a couple points, still early within this first set. California only trailing 9-12, but that blocking is definitely needed in that front row.
Nice serve by Norfolk's going to get this one to the outside for Walsh. Found nothing there. This one's going to be Wiseman on the outside. I believe that one's going to be in. Waiting for the call. That one is. Nice kill by Wiseman. That's going to put the Vulcans back on the board. 10-12 the score.
That was a nice kill there on the outside by Wiseman. Just to get that barely inbounds. Walsh going for the ball at first, but realizing it looks like it's out of bounds, but it was not.
3 kills per set by the true freshman. An immediate impact. This one's dug out by Norfolk. Or served up. As Wiseman's going to try a light floater. Found nothing. A little bit of chaos on the defensive end for Walsh. Scammell sets this one up for Favada. Fake out. Wiseman takes it. That one's going to go just a little too far outside. 10-13. Ball is served back up by DeBeese. Dug out by Lyndon Feltzer. Garrow up with it. That one bounces off a few hands. That's going to be a point for California.
Nice kill.
No, you go, JJ. It's okay. I don't really add anything of value anyway. I know that.
That was a nice kill attempt there by Ruggiero to get the ball off the block, off the net, and out of bounds. Walsh was unable to do anything there.
Like I was going to say, Stevenson and Johnson now check into the game. Is Johnson going to serve that one up? To the inside. I believe that one might touch the line. It does, according to the line judge. And that one's going to be another point for Walsh. Bit of a back and forth affair here. Walsh went on a nice little run early to mid throughout this set, and they set themselves a little bit of a lead. Not too much, but just enough to keep Cal out of distance. But of course, as I say that, California gets back within 2.
Looks like you're jinxing the teams. Can't say anything good about either team. Something else will go bad.
You know, at this point, I'm at the verge of just turning off the headset and just letting the sounds of the game play for themselves, as I know my voice isn't probably much to marvel at. As apparently something happens when I look away.
For the ones that were looking, that the ball was out of play outside of the antenna, and of course, you got to be inside those antennas. It's like cell service. If you're within the antennas, you get the service. If not, not good.
Well, I was too distracted by my co-host here, and I believe that one would have been an ace. This one's dug out by Stevenson, sent up by Johnson. Inside for Meek, doesn't find much. Walsh to the outside. Bit of a miscommunication. That one's going to go to the hand of the Cavaliers.
Looks the closest person that would have been able to get that ball outside of Wiseman would have been Pasco. Pasco was on the far side of the court, though, as it does land in the backcourt.
Hornaday back in for the Cavaliers, and I believe that one's going to be Stover going up for the serve. Awkward mishandle on the side of the Vulcans, and that's going to be another point, making this 16-13 Walsh advantage. Serve is back up. Awkward dig out by Pasco. Nobody else able to get a hand on it, and that one's going to be another easy point for the Cavaliers.
Back-to-back service aces. Walsh is on a nice streak here, 17-13 in favor of Walsh. California needs to string some points together if they want a chance to get within this first set.
It's a game of runs, as they say. Lindsey Scammell on the inside. Nice little power action there. Not able to find much, though, except for a little bit of chaos. And I believe that one's going to go off some hands. That's going to be another point for Walsh. I believe this is going to be another timeout. I believe this one will be called by Emmerich. Not 100% sure on that. And, it's been a pretty close game, I'd say, here so far. I mean, it's only a 5-point differential, right? I'm getting my math right here. 13, 15, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
As he counts on his fingers.
I counted on my fingers. Ladies and gentlemen, my math skills are not up to par to what I'd say most people's are.
And while we have a moment, we're going to take the team leaders for Walsh. Stover is leading in kills with 338 coming into today's game. Assist goes to Brick with 432. Diggs goes to Levingood with 319. Blocks to Mazzacata with 52 even. And aces goes to DeBeasy with 21 blocks on the season. Of course, all those stats being updated as we speak now, because there's already been some aces within today's game for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, I missed one because I was too busy looking over, because sometimes when I do these games, I sort of forget that I'm talking to a microphone and not to another person. So I get a little distracted sometimes. Sometimes I'm like that stereotypical kid in the outfield during a Little League game where he sees a butterfly and he gets distracted. This has happened too. I've never played Little League, but I have seen butterflies and gotten distracted.
Like they Meet the Robinsons.
Do not get me started on one of my favorite movies of all time. So I believe this is going to be Stover again here with the serve, get us back underway in play. Meek digs that one out to the outside for Stevenson. She finds nothing. Stover puts that one up the middle. Nice diving effort by Wiseman to the outside for Stevenson. Palms that one, not able to find anything. Nice inside play. We're already not able to find anything. Nice little parlay here as Wiseman's going to throw that one inside. Powerful hit. Bounces right off on the dig attempt, and California back on the board.
The ball flying out of bounds towards the Walsh Cavaliers bench. Closest player to that was, of course, it looked like probably number 17 for the Cavaliers to get that ball, but of course she's not on the court right now, so doesn't really make an impact if she's not on the court.
Well, people can make an impact when not on the court. I mean, you think coaches, support staff, you even think of just some funny teammates. As Norfolk's going to try and tap that one over. Nice diving effort by, I believe that one was Hornaday, couldn't tell. Mercer puts that one up. Johnson up to the middle for, I believe that was Stevenson. To the outside. Mercer's diving effort, no good. And that one's going to go to the hands of the Cavaliers.
Nice plays by both sides there. California making Walsh scramble a little bit to get the fly ball, but Walsh able to get it within play. They're playing with a little bit more aggression. California even setting up the ball for some kill attempts there. Playing a little conservative, I feel.
I believe that's Riker back for the serve. The righty puts that one in play. Dug out by Meek. Johnson, Norfolk in the middle. Great little arm action there. Just goes straight down. Nobody able to really get to that.
No, Norfolk, some nice power and accuracy there, hitting towards the libero for Walsh. Of course, libero not usually the person you want to hit towards, but when you hit with that much power, usually ends up in your favor.
Absolutely, and I'd say if I had a ball hit at me, regardless of how good I was at this game, it probably would not be fun to look at. I probably would miss it very badly. As Favada goes, serves that one up to the middle for Walsh. Power behind that one. I believe that one gets called inside. 5-point differential here. As California's down 15-20.
Official call was Favada was the last person to touch the ball before that hit out of bounds. So that was an out of bounds play but Favada was hit by the ball. And unfortunately, even if you're hit, if it wasn't your arms, that is a hit anyway.
Mercer digs that one up. Norfolk up the middle. A little bit of chaos in front of the net. That one's set back for Wiseman. This one to the outside, or backcourt, excuse me. Stover. Dug out by Favada. Ruggiero gets this one now to the backcourt. Sent up to the middle. No, excuse me, the outside. Mercer with that one. Nice dig attempt. Nobody else in the air to be able to find it. 21-15.
Nice attempt there by California to get the ball back up in the air. I believe that was Mercer that you said. To set the ball in the air. Unfortunately, it does roll off her hands backwards with rotation on that ball. I just went towards the bench.
Silva serves this one. Excuse me. Favada just throws that one across the net herself. Takes that one for the easy point.
Nice point for California. California needing to string along a handful of points here. Trailing by 5. Walsh only needs 4 points to put the set away.
Last time these two teams faced, as we previously mentioned, was a 5-set thriller early on in the season. And this one looking and shaping up to be near the same. Mercer digs this one out. Favada sets that one up to the outside for Wiseman. Beautiful defensive effort by De Silva. Favada again to Norfolk. Norfolk, I believe, is going to find that one. 17 points on the board.
Nice there by Norfolk to hit the close side of the court. No Walsh players were in the area. They're all either in the mid or the far side of the court. Just an amazing recognition and fast reactions by Norfolk.
Freshman making her presence felt. Meek is going to serve that one out to the outside. Blocked by some California defenders. Wiseman sets it up for Favada for Norfolk. Off a few Walsh defenders' hands. This one's going to try and go up the middle. Awkward play. Mercer tries to dig that one out. No good.
That came down with just some fire. California not able to really do anything with that with how fast that came down.
Now, as I believe we're looking at Hornaday to serve this one. The righty goes up with it. Dug out by Mercer. Favada to the middle for Ruggiero. Power behind that one. The Italian Stallion sends us 18 points here. Even score.
And I've been saying this for years. She's had power in all her hits, even since her freshman year. Just been able to just kill that ball in that middle row.
Well, whenever you make fun of her, she probably hits you with around the same strength as well. So it's why try and avoid saying anything bad. Because that one's going to be just a little bit too far outside. Or no, I believe this one's going to be called inside. That's a point for Walsh.
It was called tipped by California.
Tipped by California. There we go. 23-18. 2 points off of the set. This one's set to the outside for Ruggiero. Dug out by Burke. To the outside. Becker wasn't able to find much of anything. And that one's going to be a point for Cal.
A lot of mishandling there, number 18 and number 11 for the Walsh Cavaliers. Just in the same place, both looking to set the ball. But when you have that much contact on a ball with, what, 4 hands that would have been, maybe usually doesn't go the way you design it to.
As Waka Flocka said here around 2 years ago around this point, no hands. That had nothing to do with it, but I thought it was fun to mention. This one to the outside for Reichert. Lindenfelter, nice dig attempt, but unfortunately that one's a little too far outside around the fence, and it's going to put us on set point.
Ava Norfolk with a nice catch on the sideline, though. Shout out, Ava.
That one's going to be, I believe, Rowling serves that one up. Wiseman, powerful kill. Rowling just able to find it. A little bit of chaos on the side. I think Walsh just wants to get that one over. Awkward play. Lindenfelter saves it for the Vulcans, at least for now. This one's set to the inside, off some California hands, and that will be the end of set 1. Walsh takes the first one, 25-19, but just remember, this is a best of 5. So I believe we're sending this to commercial. So we will see you back here on CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC Digital Sports Network.
Season 2 of the Audrey Emmerich era is at hand for Vulcan Volleyball, and you will have the best seat in the house. 12 home games against regional foes and PSAC opponents highlight the schedule. You will be at the edge of your seat at the Convocation Center as you watch the Vulcans fight to the postseason and beyond. All home games will be aired live on CUTV Sports 1, PSAC Digital Network, and CUTV Cable on Armstrong and Breezeline. Make sure to follow Cal Vulcans for up-to-date news and info.
Welcome back to the Convocation Center, everybody. And as I mentioned in our open here, nothing's been colder than the Vulcans as of late, riding a 4-game losing streak. And now, down the first set here in the Convocation Center, I am Nathan Francis Kurtz. Joined alongside me is JJ Robinson. How do you like that one?
You've legal named yourself and just nicknamed me. Interesting there, but all right.
Doesn't that make you feel better?
I don't know.
You know what would make you feel better?
What?
The Vulcans were able to pull out this second set, which they hope to do. Is we're going to take a look at the leaders real quick. Michael, why don't you take ahead of this? You've been a good job of keeping track of these numbers and stats.
All right, for the California team leaders, kills, like I said earlier, Olivia Wiseman with 264 coming in today. Assist goes to Adriana Favada at 440 even. Digs goes to Caroline Mercer at 331. Blocks, like I said earlier, also goes to Lindsay Scammell at 94. And aces goes to Wiseman at 22. California not getting a lot of aces so far this season compared to other teams, but it's been effective so far. Unfortunately, not for these past couple of matchups California has had. California, no aces yet today, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Morgan Johnson was to get the first ace today.
She's had a few big ones so far this season and across her career as a Vulcan so far. But, aces aren't necessarily equal to translating to wins either. I mean, you don't need 100 aces to win, but you also don't need 4. I don't know what my point was there. I think it was mostly that you don't need an ace to win, but it most certainly helps with getting you a free point.
Indeed. The more aces you get, the quicker the game goes.
I will never complain about a quick game. You will never see me on the face of planet Earth go, man, that game was too quick. Actually, that is a lie, because over the summer when I was working over in Reading for the Fighting Phils, the minor league affiliate for the Phillies, I remember we had a game that was around an hour and a half, and for baseball, that's still pretty short. And I remember I was very angry that day because it was a 45-minute commute. I had to wait 10 minutes to get into the stadium for some reason. Never happens to me.
Don't you work there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. That was not a fun experience for me, and I think I only get paid like $30 for that game at the end of the day, which, again, was not too happy about, but I'm happy now. That's all that's important, and I hope everyone at home is having a good day, good week. We have Vulcan soccer tomorrow. I don't believe we're going to be at that game tomorrow, but I believe we will still have not CUTV footage. I believe the huddle cam footage will be up. If not, you can always watch the live stats. That is something I do. I'm a big live stat enjoyer.
Took the day off to call with me, and tomorrow's gonna go work for Matt Kiefer.
We have El Jefe, Jeff Helsel down there on the court taking pictures tonight. So I get a nice rare day off, which I'm not complaining about. I think the last time before last week, the last time I worked the shoot was probably maybe a year and a half ago, something like that. So
sounds about right. And also, I want to note when you said the amazing Professor Jeff Helsel's name, me and Gary Smith both looked up into the rafters, seeing if he was in the sky shooting today, because that's usually where he likes to hang out during these games.
Well, he was up there, I believe, during the first set for a little while, because I watched him climb down the ladder. That one's going to be immediately served up. This one to the outside. Nice blocking attempt on the side of Stevenson, but that one goes outside.
Nice attempt there. Looked like it would have been good. Of course, I can't see because there's a net in the way of where that ball landed, so it will end up being a Walsh point for the first point of the set.
I believe this is the Beast going back to serve this one up. Favada up to the outside for Stevenson. One of her favorite targets. Stevenson laser locks that one in.
Stevenson, one of the most efficient outside hitters that California has. Just awkward taking pictures of her, as you say, that she's a lefty compared to a righty when she is attacking that ball.
And it's something I had to apologize to her for. Normally, I like to consider myself relatively good at what I do, but Stevenson's been a hard one to take pictures of, even though she's done so well. And I believe this one's going to be called a Walsh point to give them a 2-1 lead early on in the second set.
Looks like there was a violation on the side of California. Couldn't determine what the violation was, but official has the call, and that will be a point for the Cavaliers.
It's going to be Rachel Meyer going back for the serve now. I actually thought that one was going to be Stover taking it. Don't listen to me for advice. Not the greatest ear.
Usually don't.
Favana sets that one to the outside for Stevenson. Blocked by the Walsh Cavaliers. Favana throws that one up herself. Awkward play on the side of Walsh. One dug back by Mercer. Favana inside for Norfolk. This one's going to be set to the outside for Stover. And a little bit of an awkward commotion at the net. And that one's going to go on the side of the Cavaliers.
The ball was tipped there by Caroline Mercer as it goes out of, or not tipped, I guess, just hit by Caroline Mercer as the ball flies out of bounds, which ends up being a Walsh point.
And again, Meyer goes up for the serve. Net action. Favana at the tip of the net. She's not able to get up there and match the height. of the Cavaliers, and that one's going to go the way of Walsh again.
Adriana Favada, not as tall as some of her teammates, but always making an impact, especially as a libero. Not suited up as a libero specifically today, but still making impact defensively.
Stevenson throws that one in, but nice play by Mercer to be there and aware. Norfolk on the outside just throws that one over. California back on the defensive side. Stover hits that one right to the line judge. And that one's outside California with the point.
I wasn't going to be able to tell where the ball landed there, but it did bounce off the official's foot there, going directly towards the net. So I assume, usually out of bounds when that happens.
You'd have to assume as much. You might assume if I were in their shoes, I'd be more terrified of the ball coming at me at 50 miles per hour. Norfolk throws that one around 50 to the other side. Serves that one up inside. Failed kill attempt on the middle hitter. Favada sets that one up for Scammell. Light little tapping action. Walsh not able to find anything. 4-3 score line.
Nice mid-air change up there by Scammell. Looked like she's going to come in with some heat on there and just taps it over the net, causing the Walsh Cavaliers to dive for the ball.
Norfolk back again with the serve. That one just rarely goes over the net. Serve to the outside for Stover. Stevenson digs that one up for Favada. Favada back to Stevenson. Tries the light floater. Not able to find much of anything on that one. It's going to be a Walsh point.
Stevenson tries to tip the ball over the net, as we've seen her do a lot so far this year and past years as well. Tries to just tip it over the net. Unfortunately, too little power this time as it does fall on the side of California.
You know, when I'm out in Hammer Hall playing club volleyball, that's like the only move I know how to do when I'm playing on the outside. That one's dug out back again to the outside for Stover. Been the favorite target here so far tonight. Pasco barely able to dig that one out. Stevenson just hucks that one over. Barely stays inside. This one goes to the outside for Reichert, I believe. What a beautiful kill by her. That's going to be another point for the side of the Cavaliers.
Nice kill there just to put some power down towards the California team. Now doubling their score compared to California. Walsh 6, California 3.
Doing some quick math. Are we not, JJ? The double action. There you go. I believe that one is going to be aced on the side of Stover, as Pasco wasn't able to find much of anything on that.
Like I said earlier, Walsh is beating California just barely within aces per set. California needs to pick up the pace a little bit if they want to stay within this game early.
Not only are they beating them on the aces per set, you look at the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen, they're beating them on that front too, as Favada's going to set this one up the middle for Wiseman. Tapped over the hands of the inside defender. Reichert over for Wiseman. Favada to the middle for Scammell. Believe that one is going to be called off the hands of a Walsh defender. Or no, I believe that one's going to be called outside, excuse me. 8-3 scoreline.
It does look like it will be a California point as Morgan Johnson is back for the serve. Scoreboard still says, and there it goes. Scoreboard now fixed to 4-7. California point.
I'm not going to lie, that did fry my brain for a second. The scoreboard sat still and the serve went back, and I was kind of going, durr. No, probably not the best person to go for this sort of advice, but I have to be good. As miscommunication is, you know, who we mentioned earlier to get the ace?
Man, if I was a betting man, which I am, I would have bet on that, and Morgan Johnson does get the first ace of the game, as I predicted.
You might be a betting man, but unfortunately I don't think there are any bookies for Division II California athletics.
I'll get it started.
Michael will get this started for us, but Johnson gets us started again, as I believe that one's going to be going to De Silva to dig that one out. This time it's Wiseman. Johnson to the outside for Scammell. Punch in. She's excited about that one, and I mean, I would be too. And I'm afraid to read that score line because now it reads 6-7.
Yep. If we're going to do it, might as well commit to it. 6-7 is the score here in California, and Gary Smith is giving me the death look once again, and he's staring into my soul as he says it won't take one.
Well, in our defense, I did warn everybody that it was the score line. As Reichert hammer on that one. That goes off the hands of a defender, I believe. Because that one's getting called Walsh. I think this one's going to be talked about by the officials now.
Looks like Elisa Ruggiero was pointing towards the antenna, claiming that the ball hit the antenna. Let's see what the outcome of this as the far side judge comes to the head linesman.
Now the question is, are we going to take advantage of this fancy new system called replay that we have here at this Division II volleyball level? If you've been in the arena, you might notice across the top of the stadium we have a few tables set up with like what looks like white satellite dishes, and you can see behind the scorer's table as well there's a little bit of a dish and a laptop. That is our replay services, where we do have a camera on the net to be able to determine this sort of stuff. Also cameras at the top of the arenas.
A lot of discussion. No replay, and the point does go towards California. California will take another point there.
Had to compose myself for a second. Watch some dubious activities on the California benches. They were excited for that. Even scoring line 7-7.
Walsh is challenging this call, as you've seen there just on the screen, the conversation between the Walsh head coach and the far side official. Puts his green card out, and he will call for a review on this play. You know what that means? Usually when there's time for a couple, little bit of a second look at a play, even though the official is signaling some stuff already, as now she goes back for the replay. I'd keep an eye on California's sideline if they do anything silly goofy on that sideline as they usually do. Remember one time Bailey Maxon was riding a human bike at one point on the sideline during a challenge.
And I believe we might get something similar right now. I don't know.
Is this bowling?
Oh, we're doing bowling.
Bailey Maxon bowling with Ava Norfolk into a crowd of players.
Ooh!
Oh my God! The Wii Sports bowling with the jumping in the circle. That was an interesting idea there. I'd love to know how long they take choreographing these things.
You know, I think about that with softball a lot too, because I don't know if you've ever been to a softball game, but a lot of times those girls have their own little chants and like their own like songs and chants for like almost every single play imaginable. Oh my! Did you see Sarah Stevenson might have just spun around like 5 times? That was amazing.
Replay does go towards Walsh's way as the call was overturned, and that will be a Walsh point.
So unfortunately, that beautiful 6-7 score line is now ruined to a 6-8 score line. Walsh still has the advantage.
Coach Emmerich looking for an explanation on what happened on that call. Not agreeing, and she is challenging a challenge. Wasn't aware that was something you could do, but she is challenging the call that was challenged earlier by Walsh. And I'm now looking at California as they're playing the school ground game called Ninja, looking like they're moving one arm by one.
I mean, I'm still more amazed that you can challenge a challenge. I didn't think that was actually possible in any level of sport.
Look on the score there. See a handful of players playing schoolyard game. I even used to play this. Looks like Bailey Maxon, Nina Conti, Petrosevic, Jones are the ones playing the game.
I think this one's going to get up.
And Ava Norfolk, excuse me. That was the last player. Couldn't see the number.
Got to make sure we get everyone correct.
Of course.
As I was right, Walsh is going to keep this point as Coach Emmerich going to use her challenge unsuccessfully. You know, not every green card is going to be a good one.
When I think of green cards, I think of soccer, and I usually don't think of anything bad with a green card in soccer. So,
you know, green usually means good.
Yeah.
In this case, I think for the Vulcans, it did not end up good for them.
I feel like they should bring over the red challenge flags, throw them on the court mid-play.
It has been entertaining watching our head coach of our football program, Gary Dunn, throw those flags. I remember in Edinburgh, I watched him very lazily toss one up, and I found it very amusing.
Always some sass.
Mr. Coach Dunn always has some sass to him, and so do the Vulcans, making sure they're staying in this nice, tight, close game as Johnson sets this one to the outside for Scammell. One sort of lobbed out for her. Great blocking by the California defense. Keeps this one on the side of Walsh. Pasco, Johnson, Scammell with the light touch. As this one's going to go to the side of the Vulcans.
Nice play there. Violation on the side of Walsh. So there's a free point for California as Casey Meek will go back for the serve.
I'm a big fan of free things, and you know, if I were one of these Vulcans on the court, I think I'd be a fan of a free point. Meek up with the serve. Roddy had some power behind that one. That one goes to the outside for DeBeese. With some hopping and stepping on the side of Scammell as the Vulcans now even up the score line to an 8-8 second set.
That ball was just a little bit too low there for Walsh. Looks like it hit the antenna and the bottom of, the top of the net. As Meek will go back for the serve.
Sorry about that. I had to take a quick coughing break. This one goes up to the middle. Lightly tapped for Ruggiero. Johnson to the outside for Wiseman. Bounces that off the blocking defender's hands. Thrown back up to the outside. Powerful hit. I believe this one's going to go off a California defender's hands. It's going to put Walsh back in the driver's seat.
Some substitutions coming in for California and for Walsh. The side of California, Kay Lindenfelser comes into the game and was unable to catch the number for the Walsh player.
Silva back for the serve. Sometimes you just miss some numbers, and that's okay because, we're all human. We're not perfect. It's going to be Wiseman puts that one just in between the backcourt and in-court defenders. Stover puts that one to Johnson. Pasco, Ugaro now, right in between the defenders. She's happy about that one, and I would be too. As California evens the score line back up 9-9.
Nice point there as some celebration on the side of California. Looks like they're playing some bobsled over there, or whatever you call that, just dragging your friend across the ground. I used to call that bullying, but okay.
You would know what bullying is like, wouldn't you? That felt oddly mean, and I don't know why. I do apologize for that. That one to the outside for Stover. Power behind that hit. She was angry at that ball. She gets Walsh a point, put them ahead.
That was a nice kill there for her. Jumping in the air, that was some full strength right there. Looked like even her knees crouched up to her chest for a nice, powerful kill there.
I think I might have just seen the Walsh bench hit the sexy Dexy. I'm not 100% sure on that, but whatever that girl did, it was a heck of a dance move. As that one's going to go just outside. Evens the scoreline back up to 10-10 once more.
Some substitutions for California. Adriana Favada comes into the game, and so does Sarah Stevenson in place of Morgan Johnson and Eliza Ruggiero.
Senior Favada from Arizona now. Going to be serving the ball. The right-hander puts that one up deep into the Walsh zone. To the outside. For the Beast, not able to find much of anything. Favada sets that one up, excuse me. Bit of awkward communication between the Cavaliers. Sends that one back over to the side of Cal. Now for Norfolk, powerful arm on her. To the outside again for the Beast. Lindenfelter barely able to get there, but unfortunately none of her teammates are able to pick up off of that dig. That's going to put Walsh back up ahead by one.
Favada went for the ball there, realizing it's not worth getting hurt by a chair to go for a ball. California only down 1 point now.
And the game of mystery chairs has been apparent here. I know we were discussing that before the game happened as Mercer digs that one out for Stevenson. Awkward play. Silva able to find it though. I believe that one's Reichert on the outside. Is that one going to be called in or out? That one is called out. Even scoreline.
Nice reactions there by California just to get out of the way. Honestly, I would have hit that ball, but of course, these players better than I am. Just about any sport, I feel like, at this point. But good reactions by them to know the ball was going out of bounds.
Having these players work out at like 6 a.m., I'd assume that they're going for some powerful workouts. As I say that as Stover rockets that ball farther than I think we've ever been in the human solar system before. And that one goes far out on the other side of the combo. Walsh up by one.
The ball was hit farther than you've been away from home. So. Bad analogy there, but I apologize for that. I'm sorry, everyone.
I think I get where you're going for, but I think poorly executed. But you know what? It's okay. You know how we learn, ladies and gentlemen? We try and we fail. Stevenson doesn't fail on that one. A little bit of a learning exercise there. Off the Walsh defenders on the inside. Norfolk gets an easy kill.
Nice kill there by Norfolk, instead of coming straight on with some power, going straight ahead, knowing that the trajectory of that ball will just go flying out of bounds off her hand.
It's a big word there, trajectory.
Usually don't say big words like that, but I'm colored today, so it's okay.
Everything's okay when you really think about it. Just takes a little bit of time. Stevenson with some time digs that one out for Favada. Back up to Stevenson. Why not? Getting a little funky here. This one looks like it's going outside for Stover. Of course it is. Stevenson gets that one out for Favada. To the outside for Meek. Awkwardly off her hand, but I think that one's just going to be enough. No, according to the line judge, it is not. And that one's going to go to the side of the Cavaliers.
Looked like the close side looked like it went around the antenna is what the official call was.
This one goes up. Stover with it. Favada to the outside back for Stevenson. Dug out to the middle. I believe that was Meek who got her hand on it. Stevenson again just throws that one over the net. This one, I believe, going to the outside again for Reichert. Off the tip of the defender's hands, and that was going to go to the side of Walsh. It's called the Walsh. It's the W's that got me mixed up.
I've been getting messed up on that all day. Not used to calling team with W. That's why I keep calling them Cavaliers.
Hailing from Ohio, but they are not the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are the Walsh Cavaliers, who've had such a great season here so far and look to capitalize it on a losing Vulcan team as the Vulcans lose another point there, 15-12. Walsh takes the advantage. Stover. Dug out by Pasco. Awkward handle on it, though. Pasco's going to get it back from Stevenson. De Silva had it. One believe outside. It might have been Basaka.
Looks like it was indeed called outside of the antenna. A lot of antenna violations I've seen today, more than I usually see. I mean, this is only the second set. There's been at least 3 or 4 violations outside of the antenna this game.
Morgan Johnson with a jump serve. Deep into the backcourt of Walsh. Dug to the outside for Reichert. Awkward handle on it. Dug out by Pasco. Now to Ruggiero. She just finds an open backcourt for the easy point. 14-15, 1 point difference between these two squads.
Nice there by Ruggiero just to put the ball down. And there was also some more dragging going on the side of the California bench. Not rushing, but definitely dragging.
You really just had to get the Whiplash reference in there. I'm not mad at that whatsoever. Love that movie. Beautiful little tap in by Reichert. Not able to find much of anything. Johnson takes it herself. Outside for Stover. Powerful hit. Johnson again. Up to the net. Scammell tries to take it. Some bouncing around Mazaka. Not able to find anything. Stover just throws that one over again by Johnson. And I believe this one's going to get called a violation. California is going to even the scoreline once more.
Looks like the call there was a carry by Walsh. Can't really do that in most sports, especially volleyball.
I think the only sport you really can carry a ball is rugby and football when you're in the offensive side. It's a beautiful kill by Mazaka. Had a lot of power behind it, but the arms of Cal were just there in time. Guerrero just tries to punch that one over to the outside. Reichert. No one goes off the net. Scammell not able to find it. And normally in my experience playing tennis, when that ball tips over the net and it sort of takes a weird bounce, you're supposed to apologize to the other team or the person you're playing against, because I mean that's not within the grounds of playing. That's sort of like something accidental that happens. But in a sport like volleyball, I don't think that's something that you really do much of. As Reichert takes this one back for the serve. Set up by Johnson. Ruggiero with it. A lot of power behind that. To the outside for, I believe that was Reichert. Johnson. Ruggiero. To the outside. Nothing. Dug out by De Silva. To the inside. Wiseman. Johnson. Back to the middle for Wiseman again. Good rally going on here. Set to the outside for Mazaka. Nice hands of California defenders. Keeps this point alive. Excuse me, that was 13 to Beast on the outside now. To Ruggiero. More power behind it. De Silva takes an awkward back bounce. Stover with it, and after a long rally, California finally able to find the defensive presence they needed. Even the scoreline 16-16.
That's what I call a battle of endurance right there. That one was going on for a while, especially with some hard hitting from both teams. California were able to stick it out for the longest as Walsh has an error there.
You know, that game did not last nearly as long as Game 3 of the World Series last night. I was up till around 3 a.m. watching that for 18 innings. It's California finally able to put themselves back in command, 17-16. I'm still upset about that, too. That was it's a very late-night game. I don't know, my boss down there, Matt Kiefer, our sports information director, is not too happy about the Jays' loss. So this one dug out. Sent to the outside for Mazaka. Beautiful defense by California, but Walsh keeps it alive. Thrown back over. Didn't seem like anyone was ready for that, though. Johnson, Scammell. This one thrown back up to middle. Diving effort by Meek. Johnson outside to Ruggiero. Looks like we're in for another long one here. De Silva. This one set up by Burrick. Great defense on the side of California, finding their hands just where they needed to be. Wiseman set up by Johnson. Back to Wiseman. Again into the backcourt. De Silva, beautiful play on the backcourt side. As Meek's not able to find that, and that's going to be the Beast picking up another kill.
Meek just coming to the ground on that dive. A little too late there. Ball was at least an inch or two ahead of her. That does land in play for the Walsh point as they tie the game back up here, 17-17.
Our good friend John Sape's seen a lot of action. I don't know if you noticed this. A lot of those balls have come back to him, and he's been around the world so far. He's gone to the very back of the combo center. Scammell puts that one up for a kill. Not able to find much of anything. Lindenfelter running and diving, able to save that one for Johnson. Pasco just gets that one back over the net. Burke sets that one up to the outside. Nothing. Pasco up to Wiseman. Powerful arm. Dug out on the side of, I believe that was Reichert. Barely saved by Lindenfelter. Ruggiero up with it to Wiseman. Nobody in the area to find it, and that's going to be a California point.
Nice kill there by Ruggiero just to put some power on that ball off in some finesse. And like I said, she's been here for 4 years. This is her senior campaign. Her freshman year, she was all raw strength, less finesse, but now she has a little bit more finesse coming into these hits.
Her English has definitely improved as well. I remember when I talked to her all those years ago, barely able to get a few sentences out. Now she's able to fully insult me in English, as Walsh is able to pick that one up, and that's going to be an even 18-18 score line.
Personally, if you ask me, still don't know what she's saying, so I don't got to listen to her.
I mean, you don't really listen to anyone anyway, but that's part of your charm as Burke serves this one up. Johnson to the outside for the Italian Stallion. That one goes right out of bounds, though. It's going to be picked up by Walsh to give them the lead here late in the stages of set number 2.
Still anybody's set here, 18-19, California trailing by 1.
Burke's going to pick that ball up again. The righty sends that one right up down the middle. Johnson to the outside for Wiseman, who's seen her fair share of action today. Same with De Silva, too. She's seen a lot in the backcourt. This one finds its way back over to Cal. Ruggiero with it now, and she's going to be able to get that one off the Walsh defender's hands. Back and forth affair here in the Convocation Center. I am Nate Kurtzjohn, alongside me is J.J. Robinson. We're in set number 2 here. Walsh was able to pick up that first one in a very tight, close battle. And as it seems here, it might be a sort of similar affair here as to what we saw early on in the season when these two teams faced.
Yeah, early in the season, California took the first set. Walsh taking the next 2. California taking the last couple there to set this game out. Looks like it's going to be a reverse so far of this, as California does get a point there.
You know, De Silva's done such a good job of being able to find that ball in the backcourt for the Cavaliers, but that time just a mishandle, and California is edging closer and closer towards that 25 mark. Favada, the senior from Arizona, I think we did some math a week or two ago, and I believe she's the furthest American Vulcan from home.
Just by like 5 miles, actually.
Just by around 5 miles. That one's a nice kill on the outside, but I believe that one was DeBeese. That was DeBeese. She finds the inside corner. So that sets us to an even 20-20 scoreline. I believe the other closest one would have been Allie Green from women's soccer, who's also from Phoenix, Arizona, or from around that area, excuse me. De Silva's going to set this one up to the outside for Reichert. Mercer digs that one out. Favada to Wiseman. Hands from Walsh, find it to the outside, and some wee bowling emotes on the side of the Vulcans as they're pretty excited. They're back up 21-20.
Are we just calling any jumping reaction wee bowling emotes at this point?
Well, I mean, they were jumping up and doing the circle thing.
Okay. I missed that part then, okay.
I don't know if there's a technical term for it, not that I'm one for...
No, I like the Wii Sports bowling call, I like that.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Wii Sports. I haven't played it in a while, though, as Wiseman going for some bowling action. Stover on the outside. That one goes way outside, and that one's going to be an advantage for California. Up 2 points now here. 3 points away from taking the second set.
Look, that ball just glided out of bounds like it had a parachute or a Batman cape just flying. Didn't really have no gravity on that one.
Wiseman, that one served to the other side. Burke to the outside for Reichert. Hands to California, find it. Burke again with it to the outside for Stover. Meek gets her hands on it. Chaos on the side of the Cavaliers. Again, the California defensive hands able to find it. Favada throws it one back over the net. Burke to the outside for Stover again. Seemed like she's the favorite target here tonight. Saka's going to put her hands over. I believe that one might have been Rowling. That was Rowling. That's going to put Walsh down by only 1 here in the second set. Getting ahead of myself.
Nice reaction there, seeing that Mercer had creeped up towards the front line just a little bit instead of coming down with some power to try and drop it in front of the defense line there. Putting it in the close side backcourt.
Sometimes a bigger brain is better than a bigger arm in this sport. Favana sets this one to her favorite target, Stevenson. Is Howland going to get called in the lines? I believe not. Walsh is going to even score.
Coming down to the wire here within the second set.
It's Meyer, the righty, back to serve again. Dug out by Wiseman. She's going to take this one herself. Burke to the inside. I believe that one was Mizaka, mishandled by the California defenders, and that's going to put Walsh back ahead of the driver's seat at the most crucial part of the set. I believe this one's going to be a timeout called on the California side, if I remember correctly.
It was both teams coming out of the wire here within this set. And while we have a moment, we're going to take a look at the PSAC West standings. Of course, only PSAC West team in the lineup today is California, as they are second to last in the standings. But number 1 is Gannon, and it looks like Gannon has a new logo. But IUP second, Pitt Johnstown third, clearing 4th. Edinburgh 5th. Seton Hill, as we lost to 2 straight. 6th. California 7th. And in last place in the West is Slippery Rock. California has a great overall record at 15-8, but of course conference play is the main thing that matters here. They're only 2-6 in conference play so far this year.
Just echoing off that point real quick, I hate that I know this, but not a new Gammon logo. It's a Gammon logo they have had, but they are just deciding to use this as their primary now, which personally I like. I do enjoy that the Golden Knight logo, but I do like the G with the sword in the middle. I think it looks nice. Also recently changed, Shippensburg went to a more of an anchor look instead of more of a ship look.
Not sure how I feel about that one.
Not a big
I'm also not sure how I feel about Claire Rothermel. Shout out her.
But you were mentioning PSAC West Plain. We're going to be seeing a lot of that on the side of California's. Not only today, not only did they play on last Friday, but they're going to be looking at, I believe, 5 straight more home games to end off the season as they're going to end their year in UPJ. Unless they go to the conference tournament. Powerful kill by Stevenson. Nobody in Walsh able to find it. Caillou easily gets this game back tied up.
I'm going to be honest, I got nothing to say. I completely missed
what
that was.
I saw the gears turning. I looked over at you because, normally in this profession you have to give a little bit of space for somebody else to talk. And then I looked over and I saw the gears turning. Nothing was turning.
I'm not going to cobble off the gears a little bit. It's been a minute since I've done color.
You know, it's part of the experience. Stover getting an experience, and powerful hit by her, but barely dug out by Norfolk playing in that backcourt. This one up for Mazaka. Powerful arm. Stevenson. Favada to the outside for Meek. The backcourt of Walsh. Burke puts this one up. Powerful arm by Stover. Only a 1-point difference, but unfortunately that 1 point now could be the end of the set for California.
If you ask me, that was a lot of contact there with the net, but it looks like it must have just been the ball. I thought it was an arm there, as California does take another timeout.
At this point in the game, you kind of have to, because it was 24-23. If Walsh picks up another point, they take a 2-0 set advantage, or game advantage, really.
Something we have also seen a lot in the games this year is if you take a timeout, you come out with a little bit of energy. And while we have a moment, let's take a look at the one other game going on today. Of course, we have the California versus Walsh matchup. We also have the
Millersville versus Bowie State.
Millersville versus Bowie State. Apologize.
You're struggling with that one.
Logo's been an issue for me this year, of course. Full-time job. I don't have a lot of time to look at logos.
I've had this conversation with, I believe, our Dr. Gary Smith, and I know definitely John Sape. But for those initiated with NCAA athletics, that same Bulldog logo is very similar to those used by, I believe, Minnesota Duluth and Ferris State.
That's who I thought it was at first.
And like 2 or 3 other schools. I mean, it's hard to do something original with a Bulldog. I mean, there's so many schools named that at the high school, collegiate level. It's tough. But like, I feel like
most used mascot across all schools.
I can absolutely believe that. I mean, we're going to look right now because our director
Gary just did the 6-7, and I want to point that out. He did that and not me.
I'm disappointed for him, but not disappointed for Sarah Stevenson. She kills that one to the other side. Burke to the outside. Hands to California, find it. Scammell takes it herself. Favada back out for Stevenson. Tapped away, barely saved by Wiseman and Stevenson. Mercer just gets that one up to the other side. Mazaka, smart little play by her to get her the ball back. And I believe this one's going to be off the Walsh defenders and outside. It will be. That's going to be even score. That means it is not first to 25 win by 2. It is now first win by 2.
26 is the point to get to. Let's see who can string some back-to-back points here. Like I said earlier,
I could do that. I could string back 2 points back to back.
Go put the knee pads on. Let's see it.
Unfortunately, I don't think anybody wants to see that. I mean, I've played some club volleyball in my lifetime, and it has not looked pretty. As Johnson puts up a pretty serve herself. This one goes to the outside for Riker. Powerful. Throws that one back in. Nobody on the inside side of the court as Walsh takes the early advantage.
California now down 1. Walsh on set point here. And I know California works on these situations a lot within practice. I've talked with a couple of their players. They say they work on this situation the most. They go down 1 in a close game like this. They need to get those 2 points.
It's good to have some insider information. Scammell throws that one to De Silva. She's done such a good job in this backcourt, digging everything out. Mercer to Johnson. Scammell again. As Burke throws this one up to the middle for Mazaka. She puts that one outside. And, of course, as it has been common in this set so far, we're looking at another tied game.
Like a ping-pong match, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Or a tennis match, depending on the way you want to look at it, tiny or big.
Now, don't get me started here. I'm a big tennis guy. I played tennis in high school, but highly competitive ping pong is amazing to watch. I like take some time and watch some of that when you get free one day, as that's a kill on the outside by DeBeast. She was able just to find the outside mark, putting the Cavaliers ahead by 1. And as I was saying, highly competitive ping pong is a sight to see.
You ever watch Olympic ping pong?
I have. It is amazing. I'm first introduced to it by Forrest Gump in that movie, as the main character does a little bit of Olympic ping pong, as Ruggiero puts that one, barely able to find the outside, is De Silva, but she gets there. Scammell. Burke now throws that one up. Stover. Mercer. Johnson to the outside for Wiseman. She puts that one over. Burke to the outside for DeBeast. Johnson puts that one for Ruggiero. Off a few hands. Burke to Stover. Stover on the inside. Lindenfelter gets it. Johnson gets it. She puts it over herself. I think we're just trying to get everyone back in position. Mercer puts this one up for Ruggiero. Doesn't find much power behind that, but De Silva finds it. It's to the outside for DeBeast. Riker collects that one. Burke to Stover. Good long rally here. Nice endurance by both teams as Wiseman looks to end it. Unsuccessful in that attempt, though. Burke to the outside. Dug out by Mercer. Johnson. Wiseman. Nothing. Burke is going to put that one back to the outside for Stover. She's showed some power tonight and continues to show it again. That's going to be another set for the side of the Cavaliers. There's a little bit of a pause there. Had me a little worried for a second. Walsh goes up 2-0 here. And that's going to send us to, I believe, a commercial break. I am Nate Kurtz. Joined alongside me is JJ Robinson. You are watching CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Sports Network.
How you behave at a game leaves a real impact on our kids. Sometimes for the better, sometimes not so much.
Yelling and arguing with officials sends the wrong message to young players. According to Play by the Rules Sports Advocacy, it teaches them that it's not okay to make a mistake. They can blame others for their actions. They can disrespect authority figures. And it's okay to be rude and selfish.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates its 75th season in 2025 to 26, highlighting the many athletic achievements of its membership institutions. The PSAC has won 59 national team titles, 310 individual titles, produced 29 all-time Olympians, and 43 former PSAC players and coaches have been elected to National Halls of Fame. PSAC proud for 75 years and many more to come.
Like my math homework, these California Vulcans are struggling to do it right now. Down 0-2 in the game. We're looking at a third set, do or die for the Vulcans here, looking to break a 4-game losing streak, but right now they've gone colder than cold. Unfortunately, it looks like things are looking grim here, but there's one thing I've learned in my time here at this university, and especially with this volleyball squad in general, even before Audrey Emmerich's era and the end of the Peter Letourneau era. This team loves to fight back and always loves to put themselves in the game even when you think they're out.
This team likes to put on a good show for us.
Actually, I would more describe it as they just like keeping us here and making sure we don't get home to enjoy our nights.
You don't enjoy your night doing Vulcan volleyball?
Well, I kind of need to use the bathroom, so if they elongate these sets, that kind of makes it a little more discomforting for me in a sort of senses, but. We've had a pretty tight game here so far, especially say that second set was back and forth the entire time. I don't think there was really a point in that entire set where I looked at either team and said, you know what, they're playing better.
Indeed they are. Sorry, I'm distracted by I'm playing chess. California, better outing than they had in the first set, as of course they switched sides and California will have the serve.
I was going to comment on that. You were just he's on Duolingo, and normally, for those who don't know, Duolingo is normally an app you go to learn a different language. But I know what you're going to point to.
I see a Jeff Hustle in the rafters. Be safe, Jeff.
I don't count this. So he's not. If you've ever been in the combo, there is a hanging rafters above the playing area, and then there is a side entry to the rafters where you go up a ladder to go up into those rafters. He's in that like entry area. He has not gone up the ladder yet, but
we're going to take a quick look at him in just a moment with his, I believe he's a $10,000 camera lens he has there. A guy can dream to have a lens like that.
I spent $1,300 on a camera bonding and lens used, and he is somehow quadrupled 10 times.
That's what I call an employed man right there.
And I'm nowhere near an employed man, and he does such a good job of it too. I'm quite jealous of Mr. Helsel.
Just wait till he gets up in the rafters by the lights. I could never.
From experience too, our friends on the volleyball team aren't a big fan of those sort of shots where you can see them directly from the head down, mostly because if you've ever seen any sort of volleyball picture ever, you know that many times it is hard to get a picture of a player who is not making a face when they go up for a play.
Like a nerd face.
Not how I would have described it, but Burke serves that one out for Mercer. But how it is, though, Norfolk just finds that one down. De Silva not able to get a hand on it. That one goes to the side of California. Wiseman now back to serve, I believe. We're not getting to dawdle around.
Looks like some talking going on the side of California with Coach Emmerich and her players. I'm not sure what is delaying this.
One of the officials was over there talking to our athletic director, Karen Herpy. Don't know about what. This one Berg tries to set up for. Favon over to Mercer. And then over to Stevenson. Bounces off a few hands. And let's go to California point.
Nice attack there by Stevenson. Stevenson always. The outside hitter for Vulcans is just insane all around, especially Stevenson. Like I said earlier, she's a lefty. Not the easiest to take pictures of, but nice go-to player for the Vulcans.
Berg now up the middle. Stover came up the middle and was able to find some power, and that hit puts that one down. As I just got a text from my mom. I never told my parents how much I paid for my my new camera. I tried to keep that a secret because $1,300 is a lot of money. So thank you, Mom. I apologize for ruining my bank account, but I don't know if you've seen my account recently. I think my stuff's turned out a lot better. It's shout out Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Got to show some love to the 5-7-0. So that one's going to be DeBeese serving that one up. Alana Jones now in the game. I believe there was a violation at the net. That one's going to go to the side of Walsh.
If you guys wonder why our good friend Nate Kurtz isn't calling the game on Friday, it's because he's grounded by his mom.
No, my mom has no power over me. It's more of our good friend John Safe's mom who's more the power out here as Ava Norfolk puts that one over for De Silva. Stover with some insane power on that one.
Interesting kill there. Insane power could have ripped through the net. Instead, hits the net and goes over, which is a rare sight to see in volleyball.
That one hit the top of the net and then bounced down, or did it just slide off the net? It's hard to tell.
Couldn't even tell you.
You're more focused on your chess game, which I've noticed you've been peeking out every now and then.
Don't know my next move, that's all.
And to be fair, nobody really knows her next move. Nobody knew Favana's next move. She threw that one over and puts us within 2. California 3, Walsh 5.
More bullying going on the side of California, if you saw there. On the top of the screen, some dragging.
Is this the official terminology we're rocking with, bullying?
Yes.
Initially bobsledding, then moved over to bullying. Changed the terminology. Burrick sets that one to the outside for Stover. Insane block by Scammell.
Insane block there. Look at that energy Scammell just produces with an insane block like that. That had some power, but her arms a little stronger than the ball there as it just bounces right off.
She had to let a naysayer know as Norfolk now back with the serve. Puts that one for De Silva. Dug out by, I believe, Reichert. Awkward hand motion. I think this one's going to go to the side of the Cavaliers. It does.
Interesting there. Just drops in between Scammell and the net. And when it just drops that perfectly, there's not much you can really do.
I was got another text from my mom saying I said I have no power over. She has no power over me right now. So she said no power, no X-Mix gifts for you, boy, which is it's unfortunate, but
Can you ask her if I can get some gifts though?
Honestly, she might say yes to that. Pasco giving a gift to the side of Walsh, to the outside for Stover. Been the favorite target off the hands. And I believe that was Alana Jones. This one's going to go to the side of Walsh. Walsh on a decent run right now, picking up a 3-point lead, 7-4 here in the third set. Walsh up 2-0 in the game series. Ace. This one mishandled, just a pure ace on the side of Walsh. It is now an 8-4 scoreline.
There's a substitution on the side of California. Jones comes out for Petrosevic, or Petrosevic, however she prefers her name to be pronounced.
I've heard every pronunciation in the book, but there's no pronunciation for that kill by Stevenson. I think that one went up way in the stanza count, or the combo center. I think our normal sport management guys who go after those balls are a little lost right now. Oh, my mom just said JJ can be her new son. I've been replaced. That's nice. Well, it was nice while it lasted, but unfortunately, I no longer have a mother. Johnson now back.
I'll take care of her.
She needs a lot of love. Burek over to Reichert to the outside for Pasco. Johnson sets it up. Petricevic in straight to the hands of Walsh. The outside hands. It's going to be a 5-9 score line. The advantage goes to the Cavaliers. Not the Cleveland Cavaliers, mind you. They are just also Cavaliers from Ohio.
Sorry, you said Cavaliers. I thought LeBron, and I thought LeBron had it.
He doesn't even play for the Cavaliers anymore, mind you.
He should.
He probably should. I agree with that. Mishandle and miscommunication on the side of the Vulcans. Ruggiero able to find something, though. Burek into the middle. I believe that one is Egbert who puts that one down with authority, making her presence known up the middle. That one.
A lot of hard hits coming so far early in this third set by both teams.
And these 8s and these 0s kind of look sort of similar. So almost like, and that one's going to be an ace on the side as we get more Wii bowling on the side of the Cavalier bench. That was the lefty Stover put that one up, and that's going to be a timeout call here to sort of stem this tie.
Seems like, if you ask me, it's an early timeout taken by California. They are only down by 6. But while we have a moment, we're going to take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Vulcans. On the 35th, on Halloween here, we'll be wearing some Halloween costumes as California faces off against Slippery Rock. On Saturday, they travel to Clarion. They play home against Clarion, not travel. And then Friday and Saturday, the 11th and 8th, they play Edinburgh and Gannon. And like you had mentioned earlier, it all is some home matchups going down the stretch for this California team. They don't end at home. They do end on the road again at Pitt Johnstown. But a lot of home games and a lot of home field advantage to have a chance at improving their conference record.
California has done a good job at home so far in the season. 5-1, the most recent and only stand on their record being against Seton Hill at home just a few days ago. The 3-1 loss against the Griffins of Greensburg and Seton Hill University. So after that timeout, we're back here in the Convocation Center. Walsh leading 11-5 in the third set. In two close first and second sets, Walsh was able to edge it out and take the lead. Zoe Smith with 2 E's on the court right now. Stover. The lefty puts that one for over Wiseman. Minced my words for a second, but Smith doesn't mince that. Over the side of the net. Burke with it now. Up the middle. Scammell's hands are able to find something. Wiseman not able to dive in time right in front of Coach Emmerich. And that's going to put the Cavaliers in a 12-5 lead. You know, again, I did the same thing. I looked over and the gears were turning, and it looks like he wanted to say something, but no words were able to pop out. As Johnson pops that one out to Scammell. I believe that one is going to be called outside. And again, that's going to be another point to the side of the Walsh Cavaliers.
Looked like a good hit there by Scammell. Unfortunately, it does just go outside that the inbound line there, which does end up with a Walsh point.
Stover's been serving a lot so far this game as Ruggiero goes up the middle. They got by Burke. Then over to Reichert, who just tosses that one over to the side. Pasco not able to find it with that rotation. 5-14 score line.
California down big. California needs to string along some points. If not, I see California calling another timeout.
It's a game of runs, as they say. Zoe Smith takes the kill to the outside. Dug out by De Silva. Burke to the outside for Reichert. Light little toss in. I believe that one's going to get called a violation on the side of Walsh. Where that one might have hit the antenna, could not tell.
Nice free point there for California. Of course, Walsh coming in the air with the antenna violation. Of course, like a cell tower. You don't want anything bad to happen into that antenna or stuff does not go your way usually.
Well, considering for around a year last year I lived without my cell service, it's not as hard as you'd think. But Riker, right into the hands of the California defenders, creates an awkward mess on the side of the Cavs. They're able to find something regardless. Ruggiero with some power to the outside. She's happy about that one. California makes this a 7-14 game. Set, excuse me. It's not. It's formatted differently. The game is the overall series, and the set is by set.
I think he's explaining it to himself because I understand what that means.
No, I mean I don't understand anything. I kind of just talk to myself a lot. Stover, Johnson digs that one out just barely. Ruggiero finds that one. Far side, Burrick to the middle. Wiseman taps that one back over to Silva. Burrick to the outside for Riker. Lindenfelter barely finds that one. Pasco up for Wiseman. Some power behind that one. Nobody in the backcourt on the side of the Cavs are able to find it. California has strung together a few.
California going on a nice run. Like I said earlier, it's a game of runs. California finally going on theirs to hopefully close this gap between the 14-8.
Lindenfelter floats that one up. Burke to the outside, but going to record a lot so far this set. Johnson's going to put this one up for the Italian. That one goes off the hands of Reichert outside the bounds of play, and that one's going to be called California ball, 9-14. Some life on the California bench. They desperately need it. Down by a decent handful. Stover finds this one. Ruggiero mishandles that one. 15-9. Walsh takes the lead. 10 away from taking this one and going back home.
Awkward hit there by Ruggiero. Oh, with that ball as it bounces awkwardly and it lands on her back as it just falls to the ground. Johnson was trying to get there to save the ball and put it back in the air, but unsuccessful.
Should have been listening to the phrase, how to save a life, because that would have done some wonders for Cal. De Silva finds this one to the outside now for DeBeese, I believe. Pasco over to Johnson, then over to Ruggiero. Burke sets this one up the middle for Egbert. Unable to find much of anything. Johnson, Scammell miscommunication, and the ball just bounces along. Nobody able to touch it. 9-16 scoreline.
California still at a decent deficit here, trying to avoid getting swept here in the third set.
Now, nothing's more demoralizing than a sweep. The Italian was able to put some power behind that. Thank you, Ruggiero. And again, another miscommunication between Pasco and Wiseman. And I think that's going to be Audrey Emmerich calling another timeout, taking a bit of an angry pace on the sideline as California now down 9-17. Looking at a large deficit and already an even larger one down 0-2 in the game.
And that was California's last timeout of this set. Of course, trailing 9-17. Hopefully the adjustments they can make here can go within California's way. And if while we have a moment on the screen, you can see all our social media for CUTV. Of course, YouTube, as is what you're most likely watching on, if not the PSAC network, is CUTV Sports 1. If you're interested in following us on Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter, it would be CUTV_PA. On Facebook, we are California University Television. A little formal there. And on Instagram, it is CUTVPA. So please give us a follow. Stay up to date with all our crews, all our games, and all our experiences here on CUTV. Of course, our main outlet does go to YouTube, CUTV Sports 1, as we have coaches' shows. Of course, we stream all the football games directly to YouTube as well. There's a lot of different shows as well, even some podcasts that get posted on YouTube.
Name one.
Name one what?
Name one show or other show or podcast other than a coach's show or in one of our games. Name one.
Go for a throwback here. I don't got any, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, if you're interested in joining CUTV.
You had smooth talk.
Yeah, that's a little big-headed of me if you ask me, though. But
good awareness on your part, though. Good awareness.
First time in a while.
We're going to get this ball back in play. Might have been Reichert on that one. Couldn't really tell by the numbers. Scammell's going to try and tap that one over. Mishandle on the side of Walsh. Going to put California in double digits. 10 points for them.
Don't forget, you also had a TV show.
We don't talk about WRS. That was a fever dream.
Still have it.
Lefty Mercer floats that one to the backcourt. As Burke's going to find that one over to DeBeese. That one right at the legs of Audrey Emmerich. Unfazed, though. Doesn't move at all. California 11.
She's been in that position before, of course. Former volleyball player for Wheeling.
Shot Wheeling Jessica. And our good friend Peyton Trollinger, who's over there as a GA. Stover throws that one over. Johnson to the outside for Wiseman. Barely dug out by Stover. That one's going to be thrown over by Reichert. Almost said Reichel. Lisa Reguero now. Then get by to Silva. Burrick, Reichert, Johnson, Mercer, Wiseman, De Silva. We're just going by last names now. As Burke finds this one over to DeBeese. Mercer's going to set that one over to Johnson. Norfolk, awkward little poke at it. Goes over the net, and I believe this one's going to be called in bounds.
Close there. I couldn't really tell who got, if the ball got the line or out inbounds. Looked like it was just inbounds. Nice placement there by Norfolk.
Mercer again back to serve for this. Burke throws it to the outside. Good hands on the side of California. Makes it hard for Walsh to even put up a defense. They're on a nice good run here, putting themselves back in good position to keep this a tight and contested set number 3 and hopefully make this a tight and contested series. Mercer just floats that one over. This one awkwardly at the net. Wiseman.
Looked like some teamwork there on the at the net there, both holding the ball there, but they will give the point to California.
And like now, if you're Coach Walsh, you have to think maybe about calling a timeout to stem this tide, as Mercer's been serving that ball up for a while now. As DeBeese throws that one outside. California now 15-17, only down 2 points.
Still no movement from the Walsh head coach to take a timeout yet. I would assume if they get either this next point or tied up, this will be a timeout for Walsh.
Good serves by Mercer, too, just floating those one barely over the net, making it a bit awkward for the Cavs to do much of anything. Reguero's going to find this one now. Bounces off a hand or two. Burke to the outside for Stover. Johnson dug out by Mercer and up to Wiseman. Barely touched by Stover. DeBeese. Johnson over to the outside to Wiseman. Barely gets to Silva. Hands barely on anything right now. Reichert. Johnson to the outside for Reguero. Bounces off a hand. Long rally here between these two teams. A tight contested series. As Johnson has this one over, pushes it over to Silva. And such a great job of being able to find anything in the backcourt, as I believe that one's going to be a mishandle on the side of Reichert. And California puts themselves within one, 16-17 the scoreline.
Still no timeouts taken by Walsh, as they do have 2 timeouts still to use this set.
Mercer been behind that line a lot here in the past few minutes. Stover floats that one over. Johnson up for Norfolk. Barely touched over by Lindenfelter, and what a miraculous defensive save on the side of California. Johnson's going to dig that one out from the middle. Outside now to Reguero. Reguero puts that one up just barely. Great reactions from her. Stover hits the net, and, well, what do you know? California has found themselves a game of run, and they have found a run to a tie ball game.
Indeed, they have. 17-17. The Walsh head coach is standing now. Still no timeout taken, which is surprising to me.
You know, I think all sports are very mental, and I think now if you're Walsh, you're feeling that. And I think as a coach, you just have to be aware of that and call a timeout when it's necessary. As De Silva digs that out for Burke to the outside for Reichert. So I believe this one might go outside. And somehow, miraculously, I don't know, I could not believe me saying this 10 minutes ago, but the California Vulcans have now taken a lead. 18-17 is the score line in this third set.
California's just been insane on this in this past couple of just serves alone, just able to make something out of nothing and take the lead.
And even in the play of the Cavs, you can see it. Some miscommunications, some poor play as Mercer just barely tries to get that one out. As Walsh finally stems the bleeding, puts a splint on that broken arm, and finally makes this a tie ball game, 18-18.
Still surprised that we did not see a timeout from the head coach of Walsh.
Got to be thinking you're up 2 already. Why not? You could play a game of chance as Reguero finds that one. De Silva barely able to keep that one up as Reichert comes from the backcourt just to save it, keep it in the game. Wiseman back to Reichert. Burrick to the outside. Johnson. Mercer now digs it out for Wiseman. Kills that one back. Reichert's seen a few balls her way in this set so far. As Walsh takes the lead once more, 18-19. In this third set.
Just a couple substitutions making the difference there for Walsh. In the past 2 sets, we have seen Walsh make some needed changes, possibly playing some players earlier that haven't played in a while, but looks like their main core is back out on the court.
Wiseman's going to kill that one outside. Reichert barely able to find it. Some mistaps. De Silva's barely going to get that one up for, I believe that is number 6, Izzy Shank. Johnson up to Reguero. Off to Silva, and awkward touch. Either way, California gets it, and they're going to tie this game up. And, what we thought was looking at a blowout third set has suddenly led to another back-and-forth affair, which I think we've seen a lot here so far tonight.
The grip by this California team is something that I haven't seen in a couple years, or at least at all within my tenure here at California. Just a different strength coming in for this team this year.
Back in my day. That's what you just sounded like.
My day was 4 years ago, buddy.
Well, it was mine as well. We've been here a while now as Favada sets that one up. Burke to the outside. Beautiful block on the side of California. Why not have some fun with it as well? California takes the lead, 2-0. 2019 is this third set scoreline.
Even Norfolk with just an insane and clutch block there for California.
Great length and athleticism from the freshman. Got to put these Walsh Cavaliers shaking in their boots. Favada to the outside for Stevenson. She taps that one over. Silva's been getting to work out tonight. As insanely intelligent play on the side of the Cavs. I believe that one was Rowling, who put that one just to the far side corner. Nobody was over there.
Game tied back up here, 20-20. Some 2020 vision. Got nothing after that, I'm going to be honest. Just thought about saying it.
It's Burke the one to serve that. Mercer digs it out for Favada, then over to Wiseman. Powerful kill there attempt. Stover finds it again. That's who you should be throwing the ball over if you're the Cavs. Favada to the outside for Stevenson. She just tries to poke that one over. Burke to the backcourt of Reichel. Lindenfelter finds it. Favada to Wiseman. Taps that one off a defender's hand. Awkward save there, but still nonetheless hit on to Mercer, and Walsh finds himself a lead again late in this third set.
Very back and forth like we had seen earlier within the first couple of sets. Walsh looking to string a couple points together here, of course, to end the game. California, on the other hand, looking to make a stop here and go on a run like they did earlier.
Mercer finds it, then Wiseman down to De Silva. De Silva's done such a good job finding that ball here tonight, but nothing beats a powerful arm like Olivia Wiseman's. 21-21 score line. Speaking of 21s, number 21 Zoe Smith with 2 E's checks into the game. Always have to make that a point. Don't really know why.
Just after some conversation with her, she's always been named as Zoe with 2 E's.
Stover. That one straight over to Mercer, and she didn't really have a chance at that one. 22-21 score line. Walsh takes a 1-point lead.
I will add, California has had an amazing time so far after using their last timeout early within this set. With less than 10 points, they've gone on a nice run without having to take a timeout at all.
Favada to her favorite target of Stevenson. I believe that one's going to get called outside. As for now, that will be. I believe Coach Emmerich's going to be looking for that challenge card. She's going to pick that one up. Has to pick up the green card and talk to the official. We're going to be heading into a nice little replay review, are we not?
Indeed we are. Looks like Audrey Emmerich's going to challenge the spot of the ball, or placement of the ball, whatever you want to call it. Looked like it could have been inside. It was called out, which gave Walsh the 23-21 lead. Some interesting ambient music going on as we wait for this, like a loading screen, it feels like.
I feel like if you're Coach Emmerich, this was necessary regardless, because you used your 2 timeouts already so far. And with this challenge, I thought it was outside. I think this is going to go the way of the Cavaliers. But
I believe so as well.
Either way, this is a nice time for Coach Emmerich to just sit down and talk to her players on the court, get some words in, and be able to sort of encourage, yell, whatever she fancies so far in here tonight.
It is nice in volleyball that even if you don't get the call correctly, you don't get charged a timeout, but it will go California's way, surprisingly.
Don't listen to me, I guess. I think I'm just a bad authority on anything at this point.
Well, yeah.
Now I'm kind of curious now. Do we get a challenge to a challenge again? No? Okay. I kind of wanted that to happen again.
I like that. It's a little bit of type of mentality is the way I see it.
I don't think I've ever heard anything described as a mentality.
You know, like a little kid, like he did this,
I think it's more of a nuh-uh. As De Silva digs that one out. Burke to the outside for Stover. Ooh. And that one is going to be called outside. California takes the late lead by 1. If you don't know how volleyball works, it's first to 25, win by 2. So Cal just needs 2 more points. David Norfolk is going to be the one taking the serve. One put over to Reichert. Burke to the outside for Stover. That's some great hands by the California blocks. Not able to get a point out of it, but able to find some steadiness out of it. Stevenson, awkward play. But again, awkwardness on the side of Walsh as well. Stover's just going to have to tap that one over. Wiseman finds Favada, who finds Stevenson. Going after De Silva. Ball finds its way back over to Stover. Wiseman barely able to find her way in. Favada back over to Stevenson. This one takes a bounce off of a Walsh player. And California puts themselves on set point.
Nice play there by California.
I agree, that was a nice play.
So I
thought there was going to be more out of there, so I said
I thought so too. Decided not to.
There's no problem with that at all as Burke finds the ball up the middle to Mazaka. And is this it? Walsh has to wonder now, being down. Lindsay Scammell finds the net, and she's excited about that one. And I mean, I would be too. California stays alive in this series, finding the third set 2-1. California wins this 25-22. We will be back. I'm Nate Kurtz, joined alongside me is JJ Robinson on the PSAC Digital Sports Network and CTV Sports 1.
Hi, I'm Gene Steratore, CBS Rules Analyst and longtime sports official. Today, mistreatment of officials has become normalized, and we are facing an abnormal future where no officials to hire means no games on the schedule. And the positive effects of athletic competition are at critical risk for this generation and those to come. Videos showing abusive treatment of officials multiply on social media. And there have been consequences for the dreadful behavior of players, fans, and coaches. Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support.
Have you ever wanted a baseball universe at your fingertips? Well, now you can with On Deck Baseball, the card and dice game that lets you run your own fictional baseball universe or play as some of the great teams and players from the past. Dive into the fictional universe with a league of custom teams and players. But don't stop there, as there are expansion teams and rookie sets to keep the league going for years. If great teams are your thing, then check out the pro version with dozens of historical teams waiting to take the field. Step up to the plate with On Deck Baseball. Find out more at on-deckbaseballgame.com. That's on-deckbaseballgame.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Facing down Mount Kilimanjaro are the California Vulcans, down 2-0 to start the game. Brought back the third set for themselves, making it 2-1 now. Just on the right side of the court, you'll see the California Vulcans. On the left is going to be the Cavaliers of Walsh. I'm Nate Kurtz. Joined alongside me is Michael Joseph James Robinson, better known as JJ. I know he's happy about me legal naming him. How are you feeling so far into these now fourth set?
Ecstatic that California can come back from an 8-point deficit at one point. It looked like Walsh had the sweep in the bag ready to happen, but California, with some nice grit after using all their timeouts with sub 10 points, able to come back and win that game. It was amazing to see for the California Vulcans, to see that they have that just mentality to say we might be down, but we're never out.
And that's been the mark of this team, I think, for as long as I think we have ever known them, starting off in Peter Letourneau's era in 2022. He's been there longer, but as far as we've known him. And even when those teams were looking at worse records, they always found some way to fight, and they've done a good job of it.
I agree, as it will be Walsh going back for the serve as soon as we get lineup stuff figured out.
And that is something I actually don't understand about volleyball. I never understood how they do these lineups, because you always see like one person check out before the game starts.
Yeah. Looks like on the side of California, looks like Ruggiero comes out of the game. And so does Scammell, but I didn't see who the other player to go in the game was. But I will note that Zoe Smith is in the game for California.
That's actually what they called me in high school.
Zoe Smith?
No. I don't think you want to know what they called me in high school. Nick Kurtz.
Oh.
Joining alongside me is JJ Robinson. So we're about to start the fourth set here. Walsh up 2-1 in this series so far. Last time these two teams played, it saw a 5-set game. And hopefully we'll look at the same here for the Vulcans as Wiseman dug that one out right onto the scores table, right in front of our facilities manager, Loudon Connie. And I think Stevenson took a business decision to not go for that. Now it's going to put Walsh up 1-0 here just to start the game. We'll see Levin good. Going to serve that one over. Favana to the outside for Stevenson. Wiseman not able to find it. And already down quickly on these California Vulcans. And Coach Emmerich running over to just give some words of encouragement.
I wouldn't be surprised if on the side of Walsh they come out with a different energy here, especially when they had that last game on lock, just giving up that many points back to back. I wouldn't be surprised seeing some aggressive attacks from Walsh.
Another attacking error on the side of California is going to put them down in a three-whole point deficit already. Coach Emmerich's already going to challenge something here in the fourth set. I believe she is very, very determined that. That one out or touched then out? I don't know. She challenged something, or it was tipped at least.
Yeah, the challenge looks like it will be for a tipped ball to try and go California's way.
Either way, I mean, that's really early for a challenge so far here. When you're already down 2-1 in the series, you might want to save that for a little further down. And now, it's going to go her way. Coach Emmerich was confident and proud, and she's happy with that.
She knew the call. It looks like the Walsh coach will go talk to the official. Official isn't hearing any of it, as it looks like, but of course don't know what they're saying. The Walsh coach does not look happy with the outcome of that challenge, though. And that was a very quickly expedited review, and now they're going to the head official for a little bit more discussion.
That's the first time I've ever heard you use the word expedited, and that was good usage of it as well. Now I've thought about this too. Since they implemented replay, it's got to be a quote-unquote fun thing for these officials to deal with now. Now they have to deal with coaches yelling at them after looking at footage, and then also having to pause these games just to look over footage when previously it was more just determined on the eye test.
Some conversations now coming on before the far side official and the head official with our athletic director. Also, shout out Noah Mitchell there on the far side of that table. Good friend of CUTV and one of the greatest, or the greatest quarterback in California Vulcan football history. But if you ask me, Davis Black. But that's just because I think it's funny. But of course, I'll give credit to where credit is due. Shout out our good friend Noah Mitchell.
I'll play the neutral side here. The head coach of Vulcan flag football. We'll see them in spring of this year, actually. I was going to say 2026, but I mean that is this upcoming athletic season. Also, I believe co-facilities director and wide receivers coach for the football team. Former starting quarterback for the Vulcans. Holds many of our program records.
And I'm not sure if the microphones can pick up. There was some Jeopardy doo-doo-doo going on, as this is a longer review than we've seen so far.
They're going to reverse the call.
Reverse the call. And it will go to Walsh after the initial challenge.
I actually do not believe so. I think they're replaying the point. Yeah, so we're going to see a replay of that point because I don't think anybody was able to find it. And ball don't lie as California puts that one, that was Wiseman on the side of California who put that straight into De Silva's hands, wasn't able to couple with it. That puts Cal down 2-1 here early on in the stages of set number 4. Norfolk floats that one to the backcourt to De Silva. Burrick to the outside. Not able to find much of anything, though. Favana's going to put that one straight up for Scammell. Norfolk barely gets to that. Might have been a miracle save there by Favana. Norfolk not able to get that one back over the net, put that in play. California loses that point. Cavs pick one up. I believe that's going to be Meyer taking this serve. Roddy puts that one straight to the middle of the court. That's going to be Levigood who sets that one up for Stover. Favana not able to get there in time, and Wiseman let Favana have it. California loses that point once more.
Nice placement there for Walsh. Favana predicting where the ball is going. She goes towards the back line a little bit. The ball just drops right in front of her. Misconduct on her side.
Favana up for Scammell. That one finds its way back over to the Cal side. Wiseman into the net. That one again going to the side of the Cavaliers. I think Coach Emmerich already going to call a timeout here early on in the stages, set number 4.
Rare error there by Wiseman. You don't see her mess up very often. Like we said earlier, doesn't come out of the game very often. And when she does come out, not very good things happen for this California team. Of course, that time she was the cause of a not very good thing for the Vulcans, as it was a hitting error on her part.
And whenever I hear this song by the Parsons Project, I think you have to think of the Chicago Bulls starting lineup. And I think right now you want these Vulcans to be playing like those 98-99 Bulls. Because, I mean, that team won so many games, three-peated once more with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman. And I think you want these Vulcans to come out of this timeout playing like that as well against another very tough team in Walsh.
Indeed. And once again, on the screen, you can see the standings for the PSAC West. Of course, like we said earlier, California with an amazing record so far this season, especially compared to the past 2 seasons. Still working on getting better within conference play. Everything. Wins are all good and all, but if they can't come from where it matters, there's only so much and there's only so far your team can go within the postseason if they can even get there. Like I said, California only has 2 wins within conference play, looking to improve that. Not today, but later on this week.
Mercer mishandles that. Wiseman finds it, though. Mercer's going to toss that one lightly back over. Meyer gets it. Burdick up the middle. And it was Bryn Egbert who finds that straight down for the Walsh point. Backing off that sort of PSAC talk. This is a fact that really I don't think gets talked about a lot, but the loss of Mercyhurst in the PSAC West cannot be put up even more because they were good at so many sports and put themselves at the top of the conference in so many different aspects. So when you lose a team like Mercyhurst, it kind of opens the West up far more for teams like Cal, teams like Edinburgh, Clarion, to hedge themselves in basically every other sport. Burke puts that one to the outside for Stover. Been a steady hand here tonight and remains so. She puts that one right in the lines. Walsh on a nice run for themselves, up 7-1. I don't think any deficit, though, looks too bad for these Vulcans. They just came back from one last set as Meyer serves that one up to Mercer. Favada, the outside for Stevenson. Nice set by side of the Arizonan. Favada finds it again. Up for Smith. Tapped away by Meyer. Burke's just going to float that one over. Stevenson takes that one right up the middle. That was Levengood who found it for a second. Some mishandle, miscommunication. Ball goes up, down, left, and right. California not able to find it either way. They were going off cardinal directions. Walsh up 8-1.
California, honestly, after how last set went, I wouldn't be surprised if California took a timeout soon. Going within their last timeout already. Of course, you've seen them earlier, as that does fly out of bounds. You saw earlier how they did take a timeout very early within the 3rd set, and they did come back to end up winning that game. That set, but down 9-1, not a very good look for the Vulcans.
Off the mishandle comes in number 7, Anna-Marie Petricevic. Savada just takes that one herself. Free point for them. 2-9 scoreline. Almost said 8, excuse me. 2-9 scoreline for the Vulcans. We're going to see a few changes come in. Garrow and Johnson in for the Vulcans, and I believe that's going to be Rowland who comes in. Or no, Rowland comes out.
Looks like a double substitution. Maybe that has to do with some rotations is what I'm assuming.
Saw De Silva come back in. I don't know who exited, though. My eyes aren't as sharp as they used to be, even though I'm just 21.
That is why you're wearing glasses.
Now, normally I go with my contacts, but they've been weaker as of recent. Johnson, not a weak serve for her. Dug out on the side of Walsh. De Silva's going to have to throw that one back over the net. Wiseman. Favada. Outside for Scammell. Johnson finds it again. Did I say Favada? I meant Ruggiero. Ruggiero has it now. This side of Burke. De Silva. Up for Stover. The far side, Johnson. Mercer finds it. The Croatian sensation, Petricevic, finds that one out of the bounds of play. That one goes to the Cavaliers.
Now serving number 3, Cameron Stover.
Cameron Stover leads the team in kills and has done a great job of doing so again here tonight. She floats that one over to Mercer, to Johnson, to Ruggiero up the middle. Bounces off the hands of Egbert, and Ruggiero gets the Vulcans back on the board. California down 3-10 in the 4th set. 7:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in California, PA. Lyndon Feltzer floats that one to the backcourt. Stover. Some play at the net, mishandled by the Cavaliers of Walsh, and California is going to find another point.
Nate gets a little dancey mood up here.
I didn't see anything of such sorts. Burke, though, finds something of the sorts. Johnson to Mercer now. To the outside, looking at Ruggiero. Straight to the defender's hands, but Scammell found herself up, and I think she had a smile after that one. Up at the net play. Nice athletic play by Wiseman to keep her hands up. And that one gets down on the court. California on a nice run. Only down 5 now.
Nice play there by Wiseman as Scammell drops as she's the leading blocker for the team. Wiseman steps up to the net just to make a nice block and get a point for the Vulcans.
De Silva has it. Over to Burke. I believe that one over to Reichert. Johnson. Wiseman now. She found that one right through the defender's holes. The holes in the defense, excuse me. Wiseman. Good blocking efforts on the side of Walsh. I believe that one was Egbert who got her hands up there.
Nice time block there by the Cavaliers.
Excuse me. I believe that one might have been Reichert to get her hands on it. She's going back to serve now. The inside blocking and the outside blocking has done such a great job of preventing these Vulcans from getting the tips and getting these balls out of bounds and keeping this comfortable lead right now in this 4th set. Ruggiero outside kill attempt, no good. She somehow finds the ball again. Stover to Burke now. To the outside. Finds nothing. Johnson looked like she was going to the middle. Goes to Wiseman instead. Ruggiero saved. Scammell keeps it in play once more. Done a good job of that here in this set so far. De Silva to the outside. I believe that one is Izzy Shank. Wiseman puts that to the outside to De Silva. Give her one more test. Stover with the power arm. Scammell able to get up. Give a pound to the chest because that was a great heads-up play by her.
Nice heads-up play by Scammell, but it does drop on the side of California, which is why Walsh has the serve.
Yeah, that tricked me, honestly. I thought California got that point for a second. My fault, ladies and gentlemen. Wiseman tries for a light floater. That's one of her favorite moves, but that one goes right into the net. It's going to give Walsh another point. 5-13 deficit.
Don't see a lot of errors by Wiseman there. Like I said earlier, she is the team leader with kills and points scored for the Vulcans, but another error there within this set.
Johnson up for Scammell. Power shown there, and she's happy about that one. California back on the board.
Leader in blocks for the Vulcans decides to come up with a nice play there. A little bit of switching roles, it looked like, for a couple rallies. Wiseman with some blocks, and Scammell with some kills.
I believe 5th on the team, if I just did my quick math correctly, on the team in kills. Ruggiero tries to make the diving play to get the ball back for Cal, but not able to find it as Walsh is going to pick up another one. Mazaka is going to come back into the game for Egbert. De Silva now going to serve the ball. Just messed that up a few times here tonight. Back to Cal. Johnson up for Norfolk in the middle, makes the mid-air adjustment. Silva finds the ball. Stover. Johnson mishandles that towards the bench. California tries to run back to get it. Ultimately, that one hits the ground before and is able to touch it. 6-15 score line here in the 4th set.
California trailing now by 9 points. Looking to put some points together here, even though Walsh does have the serve. If anything is going to happen like last set, the California Vulcans do have it in them to come back from a deficit like this.
Ruggiero is going to get the ball immediately. Bounces off the hand of the outside defense. Ruggiero picks up another kill, and that's going to bring in Adriana Favada, Sarah Stevenson. Down but not out is the mentality that this team has played by here tonight. Barely dug themselves out of that 3rd set. And looks to go on another run here in the 4th to keep this in a tight game and bring this to a 5-set series. Favada. Over to De Silva. Burke. That one's going to be thrown down by Misaka straight down the middle. No one able to get their hands on it properly. And that's going to be another point going to the side of the Cavaliers. Burke's done most of the setting here tonight for the Cavs. She serves that one up. This one outside by Wiseman. Taps off a defender. That one's going to be a California point. 8-16, down by 8 points. Petricevic checks back in. Weissman jumps and throws that one up in the air. Burke to the outside, or excuse me, the inside for Stover. Mix my eyes up on that. As Wiseman comes up for the kill. Powerful kill attempt by her. And that puts California up with another point, 9-16.
California now only trailing by 7 now. Wiseman on a little bit of a run here, looking to continue that for the Vulcans.
She's done a good job serving here all year long in her first year as a Vulcan. Svavada finds this one to the outside of Petricevic. De Silva barely even moves and finds the dig. Mazaka floats that one to the outside. Good point, good play by her. The intelligence showing on the side of the Walsh offense, and it's going to bring Walsh to an 8-point lead once more, and I believe that's going to be Meyer going back for the serve. Vana's going to find this one. Awkward play by Petricevic, but she finds it. De Silva barely keeps this one in play. Meyer and Stover get tangled up but get it over. Stevenson comes up, tries to push that one over the net, out of bounds and out of the area of play. 9-18.
Looked like that one could have been hit over by her fingertips, and it's a lot harder to control with just the fingertips rather than the front palm of your hand on plays like that, and that looks like what the play was.
And I had to do the motion myself to confirm that. And that one tapped off the outside defender's hands, and Stevenson gets one back for her team, so even though they're down 8, they are no longer down 9. It's a simple point to make, but
it is.
I feel like it's effective in what we're trying to get across here.
It was, and Sarah Stevenson did have that last kill. She is second on the team on kills with 249 up to this game. Of course, has been improved already within this matchup.
Stover's going to find this one out. She's been the favorite kill target here tonight and all season for these Cavs. As that one goes straight down, Norfolk not able to find it. Stadium pulse meter, not really that high as it's a light crowd in the Convo here on this Tuesday night, but I think on the court you'd feel the intensity of this game. Svavada puts that one up Petricevic, Burek to the outside for Reichert. Hands of the California defense find it. Petricevic puts that one back up quickly. Stover, dug out by Wiseman. Svavada throws that one over herself. Walsh is ready for it that time though. So he finds the hands of Stover again. Off the hands of Scammell and Petricevic. 10-point difference between the Cavaliers of Walsh and the Vulcans of California.
If Walsh has learned anything from the last set they played, they cannot get content with a lead like this. California can come back from just about anything.
And as soon as you say California gets a point right back, Walsh only needs 5. California needs 14. Coach Emmerich rallying the troops right now. Or maybe talking about her morning routine. We don't really know because we can't really hear, but you have to assume it's the first option.
Definitely talking about her shoe game. Always got some nice shoes on the sideline.
I will say she does always have good fits. Coach Emmerich does have a very good closet. This one's thrown back over for Reichert. Weird play there. Somehow ends in favor of the Cavaliers.
Mercer premeditated the dive there. Instead of diving after the ball was hit off of Petricevic's hand, she does hit dive before, which caused the ball to fly to the back with no one there.
Johnson finds the ball up to the middle for Petricevic. And Stover wasn't able to find it that time on the defensive side of the ball. Goes up into the stands. California gets a point back.
Some more substitutions. Petricevic comes out of the game for Lindenfelser.
And you got to think of the tactical advantage of having Kay back there to serve. She's one of the best servers on the team. She puts that one to Stover. Burek finds it to Reichert. Weird double tap there. I believe Scammell taps it initially, then Ruggiero got it, but it changed the direction of the ball, and the backcourt wasn't able to get the rebound. Using basketball terminology now. Walsh up 10. 22-12 is the scoreline here in the fourth set.
And if I'm Walsh, I'm definitely very content at this point, of course, needing only 3 more points there. And it looks like they have a nice chokehold on California right now.
Reichert up the middle finds that one. Not able to get it down and killed Ruggiero. High flyer puts that one. Reichert. Scammell at the net. Taps that one back over to the side. Burek. Up for Stover. Johnson barely finds that one. The arm of Stover is insanely powerful and hard to keep track of, honestly. So I believe that one might be called in. That's a very close play.
Looks like Coach Emmerich is already going to the bench, and she is challenging the call on that. She believes she has a better view on that point there, hoping it goes California's way.
Now, judging by prior experiences this earlier in the game, I think that one was out. I believe so. It looked like that one near the line judge's feet. But again, I should not be your final authority on this. I'm a 21-year-old college student studying sport management.
I feel like if you're a sports management major, you might have a little of information for this.
I know how to do sales, presentations, and marketing.
I can Photoshop me on the back of a dinosaur, so that's what college is for, I guess.
You have a very special skill set, but I don't think it's really useful.
I always wonder that. Like, take all these classes, I can do all this Photoshop, but I don't know how to use Excel spreadsheets.
I had one Excel class, and I don't remember how to do anything in it now. The hands go up, and that one in favor of Coach Emmerich.
I wouldn't be surprised if I see a challenge on a challenge here. I've seen it once already today.
I just want him to do it for the sake of doing it.
I kind of wanted it too. I thought it was funny.
I just think it's a funny thing. I don't know.
I'm calling it the nuh-uh challenge. So
the nuh-uh challenge. Riley Evan, the freshman, checks into the game. I believe a Chambersburg native from out in East Central. Well, Harrisburg's more Central Pennsylvania. Hopefully I got the location right. Might have got it wrong. I apologize if I do. As Mercer, lefty, floats that one to the back for Reichert. Burrick gets that one to the outside. That one's going to be out. Johnson, giddy and jubilant. California now down 14-22. Mercer, the lefty, I believe I just said that, floats that one up, barely gets over the net, makes it tough for Walsh to get back to it. Johnson throws that one out to Wiseman. De Silva finds out to Burrick. Forgot her name for a second. Johnson over to Ruggiero. De Silva somehow kept that one alive on the Walsh side, and California gets that point. Don't know how that happened.
Interesting play that is going on here. Coach Emmerich making some changes in the lineup. And it's working for California as they are now trailing by a handful less than they were before.
Went down by around 6 or 7 points. As Stover puts that one over, Ruggiero just gets a hand on it, but not handily enough. Walsh only needs 2. California needs 10. Walsh 2, California 1. Continue your point, my good friend. You forgot your point. Okay, that's fine. I mean, to be fair, I've done that a few times here tonight so far. And a mishandle. I believe that one was on. I believe that one was Burrick who mishandled that. That's going to give California another free point. We'll put Favada and Stevenson back in the game. I should have clarified that.
I just put him back on the shelf, I guess. Got to be a little bit more specific here, buddy.
Specification is not my specialization. Specializations is something that is very prevalent in volleyball, too, with defensive specialists, these liberos, that sort of position. Riley Evans keeps it alive. Somehow that ball stays alive for California. It got real messy there. No Ronaldo. Favada finds it. Mercer to the outside for Stevenson. Right into the net, though, unfortunately so. California now down 24-16. Walsh is on game point.
Looked like the ball just bounced off the bottom of Stevenson's hand instead of the mid to top area that she is, of course, usually hits the ball with. But like you said, it is game point.
Does California go home, or does Walsh stay fighting? Let's find out here as De Silva has the ball, digs it out to the outside for Stover. She's been the killing threat here tonight for the Cavs. Favada floats that one over to the outside for Walsh. Favada's going to find it on the side of Cal. Stevenson barely past the moving hands of Reichert. California stays in it.
Substitution now for the Vulcans. Lindenfelser comes out of the game. Petrosevic comes back into the game. Of course, Petrosevic, an elite attacker for the Vulcans.
The attacking is what they need right now. As California needs to just do anything to stay in this right now. Die or desperation. Mercer to the outside for Stevenson. Off the hands of Walsh defenders. Stays outside. California somehow alive in this series.
When you play with players like this that just have enough grit, like I said earlier, Walsh is on game point and they have been for a minute. There's not much you can do. When you have less to lose, you play with some different fight.
Now Favada's going to find it. Stevenson pushes that one over to Silva, barely keeps it. Mercer to Favada. Wiseman now right up the middle. Burrick barely got that one. Stover tried to find it. Burrick, De Silva. That one right up the middle for Reichert. She's had a good arm from the backcourt tonight. Favada all the way over to Petricevic. Hasn't seen any action so far since she's come back in. Stover. That one, I believe, is going to be called in, and that is game. Walsh Cavaliers of Ohio take this matchup and take revenge for the loss earlier in the season. California drops another one, 5 straight in a row. I'm Nate Kurtz. Joining alongside me is JJ Robinson. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us alongside us for a great evening of volleyball. Have a good one, and have a good night.
Have a good night.